the Game of Thrones, but Darian Durant has been doing some binge watching lately. With more, let's go to the sideline. Here's John Liu.
Indeed, Rod, and Darian Durant hasn't been happy over the first half of the season with his performance and record, so he decided to undertake an exercise which is unprecedented in his 12-year career. Over the course of less than 3 days and fueled by plenty of coffee, Durant reviewed every play of his first 9 games in an Alouettes uniform to try to self-critique and to teach himself how he could get better for the second half of the season. And Durant says that this past 5 days has also been the Alouettes' best practice week of the season, and so they've eliminated many of the mental errors in practice that were translating into inconsistent results in games, and so expect a different Darian Durant and a different Montreal Alouettes offense as we open up the second half of the season, guys.
All right, thank you, John. Darian Durant, remember when he was in Saskatchewan, he had a chance to sit down with them a lot, talked about how he used to look at Anthony Calvillo film and went over all of AC's plays in his record-breaking season and said he learned a lot from studying someone else. There's Nick Lewis, CFL's all-time receptions leader, now with 1,032.
Yeah, everything now is just gravy for Nick Lewis, adding to the total. Big week, of course, for him last week as he surpassed G. Simon to become #1 on the CFL reception list. Lots of family still in town for Nick this week, though. They were anticipating that he would break that record here in week 11.
Mom's here, younger brothers here, other family members. Well, hit screen out once again to Nick. Well, this was the stadium where history was made again. We saw so many records by Ben Cahoon and Anthony Calvillo through the years, and Nick Lewis added to the highlight reel. This one was a clutch grab to pass Superman.
Yeah, it really was on the game-tying drive, a critical third down conversion for Big Nick.
Over the top, and an overthrow by Darian Durant. And again, the drive will end here, and Boris Beattie will come out. Darian was talking yesterday about the film study, but also how he was confident that he's getting more cohesion and that he can improve it. He said particularly in the first half where he has struggled. The thing about Darian Durant, though, he gets back on the horse quickly.
Yeah, well, Darian's a veteran guy, and he's kind of seen it all in terms of CFL defenses at this point in his career.
Flag down, Spencer shakes off a couple. 5:20 to go, just a 1-0 game. CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Banks of Mount Royal, Gill University, back to school time here. Province of Quebec and the city of Montreal. Good crowd here tonight, enjoying this. And U Sport CIS season is also going to start kicking it in soon.
Yeah, it is upon us.
No yards, Montreal, number 36, 15-yard penalty is declined. Major foul, face mask, Montreal, number 21. 15 yards at the end of the play, automatic first down.
Well, there's a double whammy. 30 yards in penalties.
You see veteran Canadian defensive back Michael Carter, who rejoined the Owls earlier this season, a second stint in Montreal. Windsor native.
Another good starting point for the Redblacks. They haven't been able to capitalize, though. It's Jake Hardy. Hardy very close to moving the sticks. Will be a first down. Harris back to no huddle, that up-tempo offense that really baffles a lot of opposition. Throwing again. Quick hitter for Brad Sinopoli. His first catch he comes into tonight. The most receptions, that's now 65 on the season. Greg Ellingson, his super slot partner, had the most yards coming in.
Brad Sinopoli, we talk about it all the time, former quarterback A guy who really understands the big picture of the offense, understands the whole concept. I think that's a huge part of his effectiveness, is really understanding not just his job, his route specifically, but the entire pattern and his role within it.
Sinopoli playing in his 100th game. Moses Madu. Big romp here down near the 20-yard line. Just get a sense last week when we chatted with Moses Madu that he doesn't want to give that job up.
Moses Madu is a guy who has largely been a fill-in. His career started that way, basically backing up C.J. Gable, getting spot duty in Hamilton. Of course, originally arrived in Ottawa as an injury replacement, as injuries have been the norm in their offensive backfield.
Madu gets the call again. That time Chip Cox made the initial contact. Donna Ramassian, former Manitoba Bison. Bomber and Edmonton Eskimo. Likely get credit with the tackle as well. 3 minutes to go in this first frame. And this is where this Montreal defense usually shines, in that red zone. Harris now dropping. Here comes that rush, and it's up in the air, and Brandon Dozier tried to get to it as Chip Cox made contact. The intended target. And once again, the best the Redblacks will be able to do is a field goal.
You'll see Chip Cox back at his familiar nickel linebacker position, in with the play on Sinopoli.
Looks like it went off his helmet.
When you look at Chip Cox, one of the veterans on this Montreal defense. Guy now in his 12th season in red, white, and blue.
Maher from the 30 has now made 15 straight field goals, dating back 3 weeks. Ottawa with a 4-0 lead. Defense is standing tough here early on. Week 11 continues, of course, with a Labor Day weekend games, and coming up Sunday, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Saskatchewan Roughriders, two of the hottest teams in the league. 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 Pacific, a new mosaic.
This is one I'm looking forward to, because these are two teams, two fan groups. I mean, they don't really get along at the best of times. You've got the great rivalry weekend, but as you said, two of the hottest teams in the Canadian Football League right now, and it's kind of nice to see these teams meet under those circumstances here in 2017.
Something on the line, and it's been a couple of seasons since that happened. Durant to play with Saskatchewan, of course, now rolling out and throwing it over top, and Nick Lewis was the target. 2nd down and 10 here now.
And there you see Nick Lewis. The offense runs through number 8. Such a busy receiver for them. Obviously a critical guy on 2nd down. Shuffling of the offensive line we mentioned off the top, with Matt moving from right guard to left tackle to replace usually an Iron Man in Javon Olafiore. Chris Graves, the former Blue Bomber and Eskimo, starts at right guard.
2nd down conversion. Durant firing, and a bit of a flutterer. But Ernest Jackson makes his first catch of this game against his old teammates. Came up on the losing end, of course, in their first meeting. Jackson, the Grey Cup hero, of course, in the nation's capital.
And Darian Durant under duress, with Avery Ellis essentially wrapped around his waist as he delivers this throw. Puts it on the mark. Ernest Jackson makes a tough catch for his quarterback.
Jackson, who got off to a slow start with the Owls, but really picked it up lately. And Terrell Sutton is gobbled up once more at the line of scrimmage. Mike Wakefield, or Florida International Panther, getting some playing time here.
And there you see Jonathan Newsom once again, the game-saving interception a week ago for him. Former Rough Rider Adrian James is back in at the nickel linebacker spot with Nick Taylor injured. Corey Tyndall, Ian Sherrod, Baltimore, a couple of youngsters, rookies starting in that Ottawa secondary.
Darian slinging And another one for B.J. Cunningham. Threading the needle right at the first down marker, and the chain gang moves again. 13-yard pickup.
You see B.J. Cunningham coming out of that slot, working the crossing route. He gets the inside leverage right away on his release, putting the defender in a tough position. Great concentration, knowing that the free safety, Antoine Pruneau, is coming downhill all the way on him.
Former Miami Dolphin draft pick, Michigan State Spartan, takes a lot of shots when he catches the football. Here's Sutton. Can he get on track? And his best run so far, Taylor Tank Reed. Got him at the second level, but a pickup of 6 for Sutton. And that was the final play of the opening quarter. The Ottawa Redblacks with a 4-0 lead. Montreal, though, moving the football right now. They put some points on the board. Second quarter coming up on Thursday Night Football on TSN.
We are a league as diverse as a country. A league of Jacksons and Kwongs, Elamimians and Messams, Moscas, Custuses, Sinopolis, Giguères, and Burrises. A league of Reeds, Reiches, O'Sheas, and Owusu-Ansas. A league where what makes each of us different makes all of us stronger.
First quarter down here in Montreal tonight, 4-0 Ottawa Redblacks. The one turnover in the game. Usually we talk about takeaways leading to points. That was a huge takeaway for the Alouettes to prevent points. Otherwise, this could be a bigger lead. And Darian Durant, as we talked about off the top, this is a game where he said he has to get some more traction early on. Those interceptions are starting to pile up.
Yeah, and that's been an issue. Milt Stegall talked about it in the opening, a couple of interceptions last week that ultimately figure into the outcome of that football game. But you look at the start of this game, and you've got an Ottawa offense really struggling, or excuse me, a Montreal offense struggling to get some momentum out of the gate. You know, I mean, we just saw Terrell Sutton finally kind of to get involved, and he's a guy I'd like to see them lean on a little bit more as they look to get on a roll a little bit, play a little bit more of a ball control offense against an Ottawa team that dominates time of possession.
They can swing it out to him as well, and Samuel Giguère has only had one catch since coming back off the injured list, and that was a costly drop. And Nick Lewis was talking about that yesterday as being one of the marks of this team right now. The reason they're at 3-6, and he even put blame on himself, said too many receivers doing too much of that. That was first down and more for Giguère, and now they have to kick.
You only get so many opportunities. You can't afford to miss out, especially in this part of the field. This is the difference between moving into scoring position and not.
Boris Beattie trying to angle to that coffin corner. Looks like a pretty good kick inside the 10-yard line. It's the 5th time that Beattie has done that this season.
You see Trevor Harris's individual numbers. You know, we talked about this. Absolutely terrific statistically. You know, I mean, some of those numbers may change a little bit when you look at the fourth quarter of games and where some of those ranks are. That seems to be where the Ottawa Redblacks have struggled at times, both offensively and defensively, to be fair.
Yeah,
and that's certainly not to put it all on Trevor Harris.
Well, his numbers are terrific categorically, but his core rating and his efficiency rating are down. A lot of that has to do with those fourth quarter numbers. Harris pitching it out to Moses Madu. Looks like he just stepped out at the first down marker.
We talked to Moses Madu last week as he's lined up in that backfield. Just off play action, he's out into the flat, and you see the space that he's given. There's a little bit of a delay by the Montreal defense off of the play action look.
Trevor Harris, who operates at 70% on the season, throwing that right now. Maybe a free play here on 2nd and inches, but no, they'll go for the first down. Keep it moving. Owning possession here tonight. Try to win their 3rd straight game after stumbling out of the starting gate as the defending Grey Cup champions. But Grey Cup champion team that barely resembles the roster it had last year in November.
Well, the other part of it that's, I think, often overlooked is the fact is Ottawa's record last year in the regular season was 8-9.
Exactly. 8-9-1, but they just got in and they shocked the CFL. Harris and everybody leaping up at him. Anthony Serro wrestles down Brad Sinopoli.
I mean, the challenge for Ottawa this year is really no different than it was a year ago. This is a football team that can be very, very good. And Grey Cup Sunday 2016, they were very, very good. But it's a matter of finding consistency week in and week out. They have the luxury, obviously, of playing in the East, where your margin of error is a little greater in terms of having that playoff standing and so on.
Harris play action and a good catch again. Sure-handed Sinopoli, the Peterborough, Ontario native, former Ottawa GG quarterback and Calgary Stampeder, of course, and now a flag flies late. When it flies like this, usually that's a 15-yarder of some sort.
Objectional conduct, Montreal, number 11. 10-yard penalty, first down.
10 yards on that objectionable conduct.
Chip Cox was in there right to the very end. I think even after the whistle, you see he was the guy that made the tackle on Sinopoli. And as Sinopoli gets up, Chip Cox is still trying to strip the ball from him. Eventually pulling it out well after the play.
Harris getting good protection again, swinging it up from Madu. Tyree Hollins has made a lot of big plays so far. The ball was loose, and again, flag flies.
Already getting a feel for how important Moses Madu is in that passing game.
Major foul, piling on. Montreal, number 54. 15 yards from the dead ball spot, automatic first down.
Anthony Serro's second CFL game. Presence last week, presence here tonight, but this is a little bit too much here. Piling on, penalty. Extracted the football. Taking that shot. Big penalty into Montreal territory. Handing it off again to Madu. Trevor Harris was asked about the inconsistency and the finish of the Ottawa Redblacks and said, arrow up. That's what Rick Campbell's motto is. Arrow up. They're a team on the rise. Arrow's always up from now on. From Labor Day weekend on, all gas, no brakes.
Yeah, that's obviously the trend any team is looking for, but certainly for Ottawa, given the way that their season started, 1-6-1 out of the gate, a lot of tough losses, some struggles late in games, but they gained some valuable experience.
They bring the heat. Jake Hardy snares that. It's like another first down for Ottawa, and Hardy signaling to the sideline.
Jake Hardy is going to come from the number 2 spot here, working across the middle.
Got up right away. Maybe looked like his left arm or something there. You want to look at him on the sideline? No, that is his left arm. 1st and 10. Harris, quick snipe again, and it's picked, or was almost picked by Chip Cox, who knew he could have had that one. They were looking for Sinopoli once more.
Chip Cox has made a career as a ball hawk in this league. Just has a nose for the rock, whether it's been interceptions, fumble recoveries. The second effort by Sinopoli, reaching up for that football, the only thing that prevented it from possibly being 6 going the other way, because don't often bet against Chip Cox in a foot race.
All-time fumble return touchdown record. Trevor Harris going deep here. End zone jump ball. Greg Henderson has the ball. Harris, looks like he got banged up. There was a flag in the end zone. They're saying it's against the Alouettes here.
Yeah, he had a battle going on.
And there's another flag late here on probably objectionable conduct.
with the ball in the air. The ball came up short because Trevor Harris got absolutely blasted as he threw this football. Henderson adjusted to the short throw.
Defensive pass interference, Montreal number 22. That penalty will be placed at the 3-yard line. Objectional conduct, Montreal number 7, half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
We're watching the matchup on the outside here, and you're going to see Greg Henderson in coverage. Deontay Spencer goes to the post. You see at the bottom of the screen, Trevor Harris gets hit, so that comes up short.
Henderson did push Spencer away. So Madhu lining up in the pistol formation behind Harris. Will they give 23 the ball? No. Harris throws. It's a touchdown. Deontay Spencer. There is 6 more on the board for the Ottawa Redblacks. Good bit of misdirection that time. I think the Alouettes thought that.
Please decline. Play results in a touchdown.
Madhu was going to get the ball.
Yeah.
Instead, it was Spencer.
You get in this close, of course they're going to bite on a run fake. As a result, catch some people flat-footed as Deontay Spencer motions across the formation and into the flat.
Saw there was a flag on the play, but against the Owls. So Redblacks will go for 2 here. 7 of 10 on the season going for 2 points. They will go for the 2-point convert quite often. This time to Madhu, and he will carry 4 players in for the 2-point convert. And now the Redblacks, as they did last week against the BC Lions, are starting to roll early on. Last week they had a 25-0 lead, eventually 31-3, and here tonight in Montreal, Deontay Spencer. This 4th touchdown of the season. Redblacks lead by 12. Louisiana native, former McNeese State star, Deontay Spencer, former Argo, of course, and now his 4th touchdown of the season as a member of the Ottawa Redblacks.
And the guy looking at Deontay Spencer is Chip Cox. He's coming off the edge. Now, this is great creativity for Ottawa because as Spencer comes across the formation on the snap, Cox can't chase him from that position off the end. You'll see him come around the edge. He's the end man there. There's no way he can get to him. Good preparation in terms of anticipating what the matchup is going to be coverage-wise, and good execution by Ottawa.
Good play call from Jamie Elizondo, the offensive coordinator of the Redblacks. Steph Logan has a path here. And had he not been caught by Ron O'Mara, I'm not sure Brett Maher would have got him. Logan might have been able to take that the distance. Best starting point now for the Montreal Alouettes, who are in dire need of points tonight. Down 12 on Thursday night.